Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am so excited to be here with you guys this afternoon. You'll notice, I've noticed a lot of the videos over the past couple days have been women like me sitting in their cars, and that's probably because this is a lot of our offices. We're staying up at a cabin this weekend for New Year's weekend. And there's no cell service whatsoever and very spotty Wi-Fi. So I thought I'd hop into my office here to talk to you guys. But I'm so honored to be with you all and share my story with y'all. One of the things that really helped me make my decision about Reading and Fields was hearing other people's stories. And so I'm praying that that will be helpful for you too. My name is Molly Marks and I am out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and my background is in pediatric medicine. So I was lucky enough, I look back and think about it, I was really blessed enough to land my dream job right out of graduate school, which is probably unheard of for most people. But I went straight through undergrad and graduate school and literally graduated from grad school with my nurse practitioner degree and started my job within the same couple weeks, I think. And y'all, when I say dream job, I mean I couldn't have written a better script for the way that life was going. So I've been a pediatric nurse practitioner for the past 13 years. And I work in a real small pediatric practice with a husband and a wife team. And it's my dream job. I couldn't have asked for better people to work with, asked for better patients. And I have the privilege of seeing mostly newborns. And so I get really young couples that are bringing these newborns in and kind of teaching them how to take care of their babies and walking alongside of them. And then I have the privilege to grow with them. So as they grow and learn how to be parents and add more babies to their families, I stay with them. And so a lot of my families now I've been with for 13 years, and those are just some really sweet, precious relationships. And so I thought I would be at that office doing my dream job for the rest of my life. I never saw myself doing anything different. And then God always has other plans. But about 6 years into my career, I became an overnight single mom. So yeah, how did that happen? If you remember, about 6 years ago, there was a gigantic earthquake in Haiti that just pretty much disrupted life there. And I went pretty soon after the earthquake and was on the ground providing emergency medical relief. And I was there for about 10 days, and during that time fell in love with a teeny little brown face with two little white teeth. And she came home with me a few days later, and life changed drastically overnight. And along with that, my passions changed overnight. I no longer wanted to be in the office all the time taking care of other people's kids. All of a sudden, I had my own child and I wanted to be taking care of my kid. I found myself paying babysitters to do everything. I remember a couple of mornings waking up and her being really sick and paying a nanny to come take care of my sick baby so that I could go to the office to take care of other people's sick babies. And it just felt very backwards to me. Here was this baby that I had fought tooth and nail and moved mountains for, and she's with me and I'm paying other people to raise her. So to say that I was miserable was an understatement. I think I put my head down and just tried to survive the first few years that she was home. But all of a sudden, when I came up for air, I just thought, this is not life. This is not living. How do people do this? There has to be another way. There has to be another option. And so I asked my small group to start praying about it, and they started praying about it, and I started researching. I went to the internet and was looking at ways to make income that I didn't have to be in the office. So could I take extra call? Could I pull night shifts in the ER so that I could be in car line and pick her up from school? Or I was sort of spinning my wheels and nothing made sense. In order for me to make more money, or to still have a financial income, it would be more time away from her, which was not the goal. That was not the option. So about that time, one of my best friends in my small group came to me and just said, you need to take a look at this opportunity. She had been doing it for a couple months, and she said, I've partnered with the 2 doctors that created Proactive. And I heard 2 things in that. I heard Proactive, of course. I recognized that brand name and knew that it was a no-brainer. They were already wildly successful. And then the part where she said 2 doctors, because I thought, doctors, that's what I'm looking for. Like, I can do something like that. That's my medical brain and my background. And so I started researching it. I did not jump in without a ton of fears and reservations, and I spent a lot of time researching it. But I started hearing stories of other medical professionals and other nurse practitioners that were doing exactly this, that loved their job but wanted some kind of flexibility and way to still maybe work their job but have time, a little bit more time freedom. And so I would say 2 of my biggest fears at that time, my number one biggest fear, honestly, was that I felt like I was betraying my profession in some way. Here's this profession that I worked so hard and so long for. I spent a ton of money and a ton of years and education and blood and sweat and tears. And was I gonna do direct sales? Like, it just felt like some sort of betrayal. I don't know, it didn't fit in my head, and I think I was worried what people would think. And anyways, so that was one of my biggest fears. And then my second fear was I really gonna add something else? Did I have the time and the mental capacity to take this on? You know, here I'm looking for ways to simplify life and to make life easier, and I'm gonna add something to my plate. It just felt crazy. So I did lots of praying and lots of listening to other people's stories and just jumped in. And at the time that I jumped in was about 3 years ago. I was still working very full-time and still taking call all the time and still single parenting full-time. And y'all, that's stressful. Shout out to all the single parents out there. My friends are so good about saying that to me all the time, like, God, we know it's so hard. We're so proud of you. And you know, it's not the kid that's hard. That's my joy. That's what I wanted to be doing, was being a mom. But it's the finances. Like, everything falls on you. All of the financial stuff falls on you. All of that decisions, education decisions, house decisions, car troubles, and house repair. I mean, everything. You get it if you're a single parent. I'm totally speaking your language. And so it was overwhelming. And so when I was presented with this opportunity here, I've been praying for this opportunity and praying for a way out and for a change and for something different. And I was given it. I felt like I needed to listen to that. And so I jumped in. And at that point, I had to give up a few things. And so what life looked like was giving up TV. I stopped watching TV. Okay, big deal. I gave up going out to lunch every day with my girls from my office. I love my staff and my nurses, and we would go out to lunch every day. And so I gave that up, and I stayed at my desk and worked. I did lots of work here in my car, you know, sitting in car line or at gymnastics practice. But those things that I gave up, those small shifts that I had to make, or the small parts, like little parts of my day that I had to carve out time, is so minuscule into what I gained. And so what I gained was tons of financial freedom, tons of time freedom, which was the most important to me. And so now, 3 years into this, I'm only working 2 days a week. And I get to be in Carline most days, and I don't miss school performances, and I don't miss gymnastics meets, and all the things I was paying someone else to do. Now I get to be there. I'm the mom that gets to be there, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. And so I just ask you, really, to think about that. Think about other people's stories, and where do you fit in? Are you in that same rat race of feeling like you're paying somebody else to raise your children? Or do you feel like you've got to stick with this career because you worked so hard for it and so long for it? And what are you passionate about? If you had asked me 3 years ago if I was passionate about skincare, I would have laughed. I'm still not passionate about skincare. But what I'm passionate about is finding a way to spend time with my daughter. And so what are you passionate about? And I promise you, there's probably a way that Rodan and Fields can be the how in that. It could be the way that provides you the time freedom to pursue your passions, or the financial freedom to pursue your passions. And so ask the hard questions, do the research, listen to the stories, and join us. Why, if you've been praying for a way out and for a different opportunity, and you've been presented with this opportunity, and I'm here to tell you that it works and that it's worth it. It's worth it to give up small things. It's worth it to take something else on and find small chunks of time to carve into your schedule for something that has the potential to bless you greatly. So think about that, ask the hard questions, and we just ask you to jump in and join us, and you will be surrounded, honestly, with a tribe full of women that will cheer you on and lock arms with you and find out what your passions are and help you succeed in pursuing those. So thanks so much for taking time to listen, and hope you have a great day.